Why, hello there, viewers. How's your day going? Well, for me at least, it was all right. Now, I'm doing fine right now because I was able to finish my, my first review, which you can check it out right now on this channel. So, you know what I mean. But what that mattered, as I promised, well, it's time to do my very first status log. It's me, Duncan Nichols, and welcome to, I might say, my first status log of the year. And what is a status log, by the way? It's kind of modeled like a channel updates as well, and now some stuff and some, I have some updates regarding to future content and my life. Of course, there'll be a lot of things that I had to talk about here, and I have 4 factors that I had to explain right here on this channel, in which that'll be focused because because this new approach in my life have to connect to my personal stuff and of course my YouTube career, of course. So with that mattered, I know it's been a while, 2 months. There was a couple of caveats during that time, but at least I managed to took off. But with that mattered, I know it's going to be a long while. So with that mattered, let's get this status log started because this is going to be a while. So with that, let's get started with some progress on some of my videos, which will be the first part of this status log. So let's talk about my future videos, of course. Now, as you may know, I have officially finished editing and uploading my very first review that is focused on the second season of Percy Jackson, which you can check it out right now. It's already available on this channel, of course, and yeah, so you can check it out, by the way. And if you're a Percy Jackson fan like me, then you should do that. But I have some other videos that I have to work on, of course. As mentioned, or as I stated in that video, I have planned for a review on Battle for Dream Island Elsewhere, the sort of 6th season of Battle for Dream Island, and which I have already watched. And yes, I did that with reactions. I think the first 5, or if I remember correctly, I think 5 or 4. I reacted those on my old channel, which was Tipsy Ashy, but the rest I did on this channel, so but at least I did manage to watch them, of course, because I have some thoughts already after seeing that. But I'm gonna make my own script regarding to this, as my review on BFDIE will be released somewhere between, I think, mid to late April. But for the meantime, I have to pause that aside because I have another video essay that I have to work on. Yes, I'm talking about my second video essay that I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna explain that shortly. As I had to say, my BFDIE review will be released by mid or to late April, but I'll get to that eventually. Speaking of that video essay, I'm now currently working on my next video essay, in which I stated in this post. And what is this? Now you just noticed Savannah, right? Yeah, you heard that right, because as of this point, I'm currently finishing up or getting my script up for my next video essay. As of this point, I'm currently gathering some information regarding to the topic that I'm gonna talk about here, and you already heard some clues regarding to this Savannah barnstorming of some sorts. But I'm gonna get to that once I manage to finish up my script. For the meantime, I have to work on because, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So for the meantime, this video essay is going to be a little longer than expected, but this is going to be a much interesting one since that thing is currently relevant right now, especially in this side of things, especially in the realm of sports. But so we're gonna get to that once I finish that script. Hopefully I should release this by April, hopefully before the end of April or the end of May, because it will take a long time to finish it. So with that mattered, that's it for what I have been progressing on some of my next videos. I also have some plans for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 review, but it's yet to be developed because I still need to finish these 2 videos. And I still need to watch all 8 episodes, or I think 8, all 8 episodes of Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, so I should get this review going. I think there's 8 episodes? I don't know, I'll check on it. But yeah, for the meantime, we'll settle with that. Now let's move on to the next important thing that I have to note on this week. And this week only, because yes, this thing can take my mind off some things and some sorts. And I already did this tradition at least in a while through my old Gypsy Ashy days. So for that matter, let's talk about Holy Week now. So, in case, and if you're living in the Philippines or in any Catholic country where Catholic is your religion, then you might notice that Holy Week is so important because it already started last Sunday through Palm Sunday, right? March 29th. And yeah, this is so important because discipline, So Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, and Black Saturday are very important because those days signifies that Jesus has passed away on Good Friday. He was been, died on the cross, and and he was buried that Black Saturday. So but of course, as a sign of respect to Jesus, of course, we need to pay respect to the Lord, of course. So for that matter, those 3 days are so important that I had to make this. I will be taking a social media and video production break between those dates, April 2nd, April 3rd, and April 4th of this year. Duncan Nichols will be on break from April 2nd to 4th in observance of Holy Week. Yes, you're that right. I'll be in observance of Holy Week at least, and I will plan my whatever development on this week because I just wanted to feel my discipline some sorts. So I guess this Holy Week break can easily get my mind up some things, especially at this rate right now and the world that we live in right now. This thing can help, I guess. But of course, as we know, this is the period where Jesus passed away. So let's give some sign of respect. But don't worry, regularly scheduled operations will resume on Easter Sunday, the day where Jesus has been resurrected. And this is where I should continue posting some stuff and other stuff. And that day is also when I will post my reaction to a new Double Down episode, the second episode of Double Down, and maybe other videos, hopefully. But this is also where I should continue progressing on my next video essay. So for the meantime, the Holy Week break will take place between April 2nd and 4th. And yes, no, I'm not gonna do any April Fool stuff because I'm so tired of fooling everyone on April Fool. So yeah, that's besides the point. Up next is some developments in my life right now, especially at this rate because I have just finished my 7th grade at my high school. Yes, you're right, I just finished that. And I got an academic excellence award with honors. So I got I don't want to disclose very much, but it's just the end of school year now. So I'm now in my quote-unquote summer break here in the Philippines, is somewhat called spring break. And if you're living in the West and the Northern Hemisphere, then you might know that this break it will be for 2 months, starting this week, and it will end by the first week of June. June 8th is where I think classes will, of course, resume. With a new trimester system ordered by the Department of Education here. But and by the way, those the end of school year thing is where I should finally get my mind off because I have a couple of developments coming along. So of course, I have to make some developments because Tuesday and Thursdays during that season is where I have to take some workshops at my literature workshops at my local library, and which I don't want to explain that much, but I think it will start very soon as my library has announced everything. So for the meantime, I should settle with that because but don't worry, guys, I will be fine throughout the whole April some sorts once I finally get my mind up some things, and hopefully it just would work out. So and with that matter, that's it for what I have to say on those live developments right now. I'm doing fine, by the way, so And lastly, you might notice that something big is coming to this channel, and a very interesting development. Now, before I should ask you, the logo that I have been using around ever since February is temporary. The reason why this February logo is temporary because I have to make a permanent logo throughout this year, and it should be and the design would eventually be incorporated into future years. So I've been planning out multiple logo designs. The one you're seeing right now is a draft from I think February, and I think this one turned out to be alright for the most part, but it needs a little more color since yeah, and also those colors are basically what season that we are in the Northern Hemisphere. So yeah, but I decided to come up with this design. So this design takes up some cues from one of my favorite interests, that is Disney zombies, and the fifth movie, of course, is currently in the production right now. So I decided to take some cues from the logo of the DCOM, the yet to be released DCOM. So, and also I did some tweaks on the logos, of course. The DN monogram, monomark, or something like that, is now been tilted in terms of design. But yeah, and other stuff, including this new word mark, in which is now much more stylish and more fun, but at least there's something. And of course, I'm being teasing out for a potential April 10th rebranding. Yes, you heard it right. I'll rebrand on April 10th. Of course, I will make a huge change on April 10th on this channel and all my socials where it will see a rebranding. But don't worry, my avatar was still the same, of course. And you already saw that coming because the DN monogram thingy, you already seen that in some of my arts, including Sunday Art Showcase, which you already saw it twice. As of this point, Clarice LaRue and Alison Simpson's fan art that I made are now have that new DN monogram. So yeah, you just saw the first signs of this new concept, new rebranding. So yeah, so this new change will come out this April 10th. Hopefully, I should finally work out, as I had to make a new intro for this channel, and unfortunately, there won't be any outros because I can't. So for the meantime, I guess this is where I should stop from here. So yeah, that's it for my first status log. So let me recap. I'm currently making some progress on my next video essay, and I'm currently having some debuns aside for my next review. And then, of course, my traditional Holy Week break from April 2nd to 4th, then some developments in my life, end of school year, and a potential literature workshop, and lastly, a rebranding that will take effect this April 10th. Hopefully, those plans will eventually be organized. So hopefully, I should organize my schedule too much. So with that, that's it for this status log for March 31st. And yeah, of course, this is going to be interesting. So with that matter, that's it for today's video. To let you know that the first 2 months was alright, though. At least there were some developments, especially for the fact that I have eventually finished up my first video essay and my first review over the past 2 months. So at least there's that, despite a couple of delays. So with that matter, that's it for my first status log, as I just said. And please like this video, comment if you have any suggestions what should I do next, subscribe to Duncan Nichols, and also to my ESEDN channel, where I post Eurovision Song Contest content whenever time I need it, and hit that bell to get notified when a new video hits. And you can also check out my link tree in the channel's homepage, where you can also find my socials as well. So with that matter, my name is Duncan Nichols, and thank you so much for watching my very first status log of 2026. Until then, peace out.